And breathe. Jesus, what a game that was, wasn't it? Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Unbelievable that Celtic did draw a blank in the second half. I thought that Celtic would have got that one over the line more than what they did. Ultimately, they won the game 1-0. 1-0 was good enough. It takes us to... Jesus, we're all over the place with the... Where is that? Well, that'll do. What do we say about that? It was a game of very, very much a game of two halves. That is for sure. Celtic had the opportunity to score more goals in the first half. Thomas. What do you say about Thomas in that second half? I'll say one thing. He was absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. That's all you have to say about Tam in that second half. He had the chance to score two really decent goals. I would say he had the chance to score a third. If you've got a good striker, as good as what you think you are, if that was Kyogo, you're putting in three of their goals easily. Celtic should have won a lot more comfortable than what they did. I should try the radio, try and get Martin O'Neill on the radio. Go for this one. See if we can get Martin O'Neill getting interviewed, because Celtic TV have cut off. As Celtic TV... Oh, there's Callum McGregor. Let's listen to Callum McGregor.
Next Sunday.
When you're in a kind of three-way battle like this, do you expect that some of these matches are going to be very tight and at times nervy?
Yeah. Listen, we've been here before. It is tense. It is nervy. There's a lot in the line. So we have to just stay professional, keep doing our job, keep trying to win matches and giving everything we can. And like I said, that's another one ticked off. And then we see what happens. Like I said, we have a big cup game. We want to get to the final with that. And then obviously we resume league duty a couple of weeks after that. So it's something we're looking forward to, and we're relishing the challenge as well.
Alex, Callum has mentioned your contribution today. It's the second time you've come up with a match winner, perhaps not as dramatic as the first time, but every bit as important.
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, that's the goal that's got us the 3 points. I think we should have had a few more. When you look back at the game, I think it's similar to last weekend at Dundee. Probably should have been a few more up, and that's something that we need to work on, probably to sort of make games a little bit more comfortable if we can. But like Cal said, credit to St Mirren. I thought they came out second half really well. They caused us some issues with how we were pressing, and in the end we had to be resilient and see the game out, and sometimes you have to do that. So it's another job done, and we got to go from here.
That is Oxlade-Chamberlain talking on Celtic TV. He's not quite finished just yet.
Yeah, maybe a little bit easier to maybe prepare and see what they might do. Like Cal said, they did something slightly different to maybe what we were expecting. But yeah, they could change again. You never know. So we just got to see what they come with and play as good as we can. We need to keep the intensity that we started the game today with for 90 minutes, and that should help us. And then we see how we go.
Callum, final word on this. Intensity is a word that will be important. You're trying to find the legs back again following injury. Others have dropped out, but Arnott Engels comes back and probably need one or two more to kind of see us over the line here.
Listen, the amount of good players we can get back fit and firing will obviously help us in the running. But what's also been really good to see is the level the boys have been playing at. It's been a lot of games through the back of that international break as well. There's been so much football played. It's the same guys going and going and going. So the boys have shown an unbelievable level of fitness and commitment to the team. So they've been amazing, and then now can we keep topping that up by trying to get some injured players back, and we have a strong finish to the season.
Well, our player of the match is our match winner. Callum, can you
Player
do
of
the
the
honours?
match.
Alex, congratulations. Daffabet, man of the match.
There we go. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is the man of the match. Well done to him. Scored a fantastic goal on the 15th minute, and I've got to say, he was in and around the 18-yard box. The ball comes to him, and he shoots and he scores. Tam the Czech had a couple of shots similar throughout the game. You've got to be there. You've got to be in those positions. I actually think he takes up a better position than Tam the Czech. Anyway, 3 points is all that matters. It was torture to watch this afternoon. Oxlade-Chamberlain getting man of the match, even when he was taken off so early, him and Callum McGregor. It does show that were we right in bringing Oxlade-Chamberlain? Well, obviously with the 2 goals that he scored, you would say that it was right to bring him in. I feel that Callum McGregor had a shot for way outside the box. Oxlade-Chamberlain put that one in the back of the net, but he was offside. So Oxlade-Chamberlain could have had 2, but he was just a little bit unlucky. He was about 2 steps offside when he gets the ball. But you've got to say again, it was a cracking shot for Callum McGregor. People say that Callum McGregor's this, that, and the next thing. I think that the one that he missed, Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think it was actually one of the harder shots. Daiz Maeda puts in a fantastic cross for Tam the Czech to try and score, and he puts it straight at the goalkeeper again. You've got to say, how many times will that player get the opportunity? Well, he was replaced by Iheanacho. Daiz Maeda then created another chance where it was Benjamin Negrin had a shot. You'd think that Benji Negrin usually takes these shots, but it was easily kept by the goalkeeper. And you've got to remember, this was the substitute goalkeeper. It wasn't their main goalkeeper. Daiz Maeda had another one with a cross in, and Iheanacho this time puts it wide. So the chances were there. There was a lot to take. You could say that Celtic are a lot better in this game than we have been in recent games. It was rubbish. It was a hard watch, but it was a win. But there were slight improvements in the game. Slight. The odd touch. But anyway, it was a vital 3 points. We can't play like that next Sunday. We need to get back to fast one-touch foot. Yeah, definitely. We play like that next week, and we are out the cup altogether. And certain parts of Scotland will be loving it. It's going to be a hard game next week, but it'll take care of itself. We're waiting to see if we're going to hear from Martin O'Neill on Celtic TV. They are running a bit longer than normal. Do you think that training might have slowed so injuries don't happen? There's too many players. See, the issue that you will have at Celtic is that there are too many players that are not going to be here after the summer. There's too many players that are here on loan. So when you've got a bunch of players that are on the training pitch and they're going through the motions, Benjamin Arthur going through the motions to the end of the season, all the other players, I would even say Tam the Czech, he's going through the motions. He's going through the motions. That's not a player that's given 110% and burst in to get a goal. You've seen a player in Iheanacho that came on, drive, wanting to get that goal, absolutely raging when he puts it past the post. The difference in the mentality of Kelechi Iheanacho and Tam Tarantula legs. He seems to have these big long legs that just go everywhere apart from in the box. He's now not Tam the Czech, it's Tam Tarantula. The difference between them is attitude. And it's attitude to want to score a goal. When Daiz Maeda puts the ball in for Kelechi Iheanacho and he just puts it wide of the post, Kelechi Iheanacho's going mental at the side of the side of the net. The other side of the post. He's going bonkers. Tam the Czech misses, and it's like, missed. So what? I missed. Big deal. It is all about attitude. People should see before they come to Celtic. They should not only do a physical test. they should do an aptitude test. Let's see what we're not going to hear from Martin O'Neill. So we're not going to hear from Martin O'Neill on that. We'll probably hear from him on the radio, and I need to come off this. Let's see. He's probably been on the radio by now. Sports sound. Don't know if we'll get it. Don't know if Martin O'Neill. Don't know if Martin O'Neill has been on the radio. A lot of people are happy. We can't sustain attack for more than 7 seconds. No, it's not. Has McGregor dyed his hair? Lol. No, he was taken off in the second half. Chamberlain's first goal disallowed. Could have been 2-0. A bit more organisation. He was unlucky to be offside. To be fair, St Mirren played a fantastic offline trap. They played the line well. St Mirren, the second half, were far the superior team. Let's not kid it on. St Mirren's one-touch, direct touch football, passing it to feet. None of this passing into a position. Whoever trains the Celtic team and whoever does this thing, it's like, well, you passed in front of the player. Pass it to his feet so he could do something with it. Then the players aren't thinking along the same lines. We need to change something. We're so negative in your sleep at times in the first half. I thought the first half was the better half as well. Certainly the first 15-20 minutes. I mean, the pace was there, the breaking down play. When St Mirren got the ball, the high press was there. We were closing down players in their defence. We were defending from the front, which Celtic used to do really, really well. And the fact is that we even stopped doing that. We have a lot of average players who are badly coached. Who will be the coach in the summer? And which, if any, of the coaching staff will be retained? That's an interesting one, because come the summer, we may have the majority of the coaching team will have disappeared. So you're expecting the manager that comes in the summer to bring in his own coaching staff. Fozzie won't be retained at the club. He'll leave. Maloney will go back to the pathway manager's job. McManus will go back to the B team manager's job. The only one that will still be there is the laptop guy. But anyway, Dai's Maeda was poor today. Nearly turned off today. Yeah, a lot of people going on about some of the players. Maeda was not his best, albeit that we won. He had a couple of good crosses in Dyson, but you've got to say, on our day, we are much better. I thought that the first half, we should have scored. If we had scored 2 or 3 goals in the first half, if Kelechi Iheanacho wasn't offside and it goes in the back of the net, calms us down. If Tam the Czech puts one of his 3 chances in the first half in the back of the net, don't know, it's a completely different game. And the issue is, we need to stop playing. I know that we can't, because we're wanting to make sure that Kelechi Iheanacho comes on as an impact striker. I just hope that Callum Osmond makes the bench at Hampden next week. Callum Osmond's back in training. I hope that Callum Osmond makes the bench, and I'm going to say it, I hope Big Tam gets dropped for the game at Hampden. So, anyway, the full-time results in Scotland this afternoon was Aberdeen. Aberdeen 2, Hibernian 0. Celtic 1, St Mirren 0. Dundee United 3. Wow. Livingston 2, Hearts 3. Did that happen? Motherwell collapsed. Stephen Welsh giving away a penalty. Sound familiar? Hearts 3, Motherwell 1. Kilmarnock 2, Dundee FC 2. And what that does to the league table is it puts Celtic in second position in the league on 67 points, with Rangers playing tomorrow. The top of the league sits as 33 games played. Hearts have won 21 games. Celtic have won 21 games. Hearts have drawn 7 and lost 5 over the season so far and sitting on 70 points. Celtic have won 33 games. 21 games. They've played 33, won 21. The exact same as Hearts. They have drawn 4 and lost 8 during the majority of them during the Wilfred Nancy. Although Brendan Rodgers did lose points, every manager that we've had this season has lost at least one game. Celtic are sitting on 67 points with a goal difference of 24. Hearts are sitting on a goal difference of 30, having scored an extra 2 goals this afternoon. Rangers do play tomorrow against Falkirk away from home. You would expect that to be an away win, which would then put Celtic back down into third position. It keeps it the way it was. It is all going to come down to the Hearts game at Celtic Park, the last day of the season. Come down to the Rangers game at Celtic Park. The other games that we have, are they going to be that easy? Can Celtic get it over the line? Celtic have a week off next week. There is no football next week as for Celtic, as it is Scottish Cup. I think if Celtic play the way that they've played today, it gives them a good chance. But if we play the way that we played the second half, clubs will think that we're there for the taking. I think we rode our luck in the second half. We defended in big numbers. I think that Celtic as a team, you're thinking, can they seriously get it over the line? I don't think we struggled in the second half. St Mirren at Hampden will be a completely different kettle of fish. I think St Mirren today threw everything bar the kitchen sink at Celtic. And it showed us that they're going to be right up for it at Hampden. When it comes then back to the Falkirk game the week later, whatever happens at Hampden will happen. And if Celtic win and get through, I've got a funny feeling that the Hampden game, it's either going to be Celtic 2 or 3-0 or 2 or 3-1, or it could go to penalties again. And Celtic might have to do it on penalties. Celtic then have Falkirk at home. Falkirk game is a must win. It's a late kickoff on a Saturday afternoon. We then go away to Hibernian. Hibernian is always a hard game. And then we entertain Rangers at Celtic Park. Motherwell, I think that we're away to Motherwell. I think that we could win that one. It's going to come down to the last game of the season. I think that we may have a helicopter Sunday on our hands. It depends on how much Rangers beat Hearts by, if they beat Hearts. But anyway, let's jump into some of the comments before we go. Bet the Green Brigade wish they're still banned after watching that shite. Yes, there's I bet a lot of them did. So, it was better sitting in the pub all day watching the football and having a few beers. As long as we win every game, the league is ours. Are you convinced that we can win every single game? Is the big question. No game is easy for Celtic at the moment. No, it is not. The Motherwell manager's stock is falling by the game. The Motherwell manager will not be the next Celtic manager. It is, for me, it's got Robbie Keane's hands all over it at this moment. He is the favourite for me for Celtic job. And Martinez comes in a close second after that. My bag of Australia, Magic Beers, I bought a drunk 6, but I've got 7 left, Baz. The Rangers get a week off next week. Just wanted to say that. Who cares about them? Really scared to play balls through, making players make runs. We need to play those runs. They had possession, but I don't recall even half a chance. That's because Celtic went in, and Celtic defended well today. You've got to say that. Celtic did defend well. But I don't like the way that, I know why Martin O'Neill changed it. You understand the psychology by bringing Callum McGregor off, Oxlade-Chamberlain. You're thinking it's a bigger game next week because you want to win next week to get to the cup final. And it's a massive game next week, so you don't take any risks if you're winning 1-0 and it's 20 minutes to go, take those players off. Martin O'Neill.
Did the most important part. It was the 3 points. How do you feel about the context of that, the performance and getting there?
Okay, well, naturally, I'm delighted that we won the game, which is the most important.
Don't know if that's coming through.
I thought that energy levels obviously concerned me a bit. I thought that we didn't seem to have that. Like St Mirren, long periods in the second half where they were in control, and really, I think that was the thing. However, we dug in. We kept a clean sheet. We defended strongly on the set plays, and so we've won. So we can learn a lot from the game. Take some things that I feel that are obviously very important for us into the semi-final. But St Mirren played strongly, played very well indeed. Came here and set up, did well, played through us a number of times, and well done there. From that viewpoint, we won, and there's things that we can improve. I thought we were all set up at the start of the game. I really thought that we were ready for it. You know, players in the dressing room wanting to go, wanting to put on a performance as much as anything else as well. With the crowd were great today. Kept with us really when they could have been annoyed with some of our play.
That nervousness just seemed to build again, and I suppose it's natural when you don't get the second goal. Do you sense there's a little bit of that within the squad?
Yeah, that is understandable in the last 10 or 12, 15 minutes of the game. That is understandable. So you haven't got that second goal, so you're hanging on. You don't want some mishap at the other end, and so those things are. I just thought our energy dropped well below that in that sense, or before the last 10 or 15 minutes. But we'll get it back. Honestly, we will. We'll get it back. We'll be stronger for the semi-final, and we'll get going again. I was just disappointed in that, but not in the result, which is everything.
Skipping over the cup game, which obviously comes next, would you expect that the performance level will need to improve given the opposition you'll face?
Well,
and what's at stake?
If you could guarantee me another 5 league victories, I would take it, regardless of the performance. in that sense, yeah. But we, Hearts, Rangers, will all have little difficult moments. I wouldn't know about what happened. I think Hearts scored quite late on to secure the points there. Well done them. But for us, I think that we can play with a bit more freedom than we did today. And I'm just some part of the game was really understandable.
As you said, the win is a positive, a clean sheet. It's been quite rare in the league of late. But also Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain coming up with another decisive goal.
Absolutely, did brilliantly to score the goal. He had one chalked off for offside, which I think it was, just before that. And he did really well. He's getting fitter. I know we took him off towards the end of proceedings. He looked very, very tired, but he did very well for us, and I'm delighted. I'm delighted with him. I'm delighted for him.
Finally, as the dust settles, you are in a position where you have a cup semi-final and you're still in the title fight. It's not a bad one, is it? That would be hard to believe quite a few months ago. But we're there. We keep going, and the players. I've been talking about the performance today. I've been talking about the energy levels. They dug it out. They dug it out. They saw it through, and that's really commendable. Thank you, Martin.
That was Martin O'Neill talking after the game. And I've got to say that a lot of people are saying that Martin O'Neill doesn't sound confident. You would never have thought back in December that when we fell behind in the league the way we have under Wilfred Nancy, every single person, every single Celtic fans that wants to criticise players today, every single person out there that wants to criticise players, think of the position that we find ourselves in this afternoon. We go into Hampden next week with a fighting chance to get into the Scottish Cup final. The Premier Cup game in Scotland. We're 2 games away from winning a trophy. We find ourselves at this stage of the league, having played 33 games. We're still in there. We're second in the league. we are slightly behind and points wise. I tell you, they need to. What the hell's going on with that? There's one thing for sure. Celtic need to up the game. These beers and Baz TV is the best. Must a cheeky wee spliff, says David. Danny Cassidy, thanks for that. Well done to Oxlade-Chamberlain for getting man of the match. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain played well today. Martin O'Neill said that it was tiring towards the end of the game, and that the reason that he was brought off is to secure his fitness for next week. Oxlade-Chamberlain getting man of the match. If he had scored listen, it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? Martin O'Neill said that the players were completely buzzing for the game. He thought that they were going out there, and he says the first 10 minutes of the game, first 15 minutes of the game, he thought, yeah, it's going to plan. It's going to plan. We look like we're going to score a barrel load of goals. It looked as if it was going to be in our own hands. It's still in our own hands. Celtic can still win the double, and if Celtic do go on to win the double, it will be one of the most remarkable doubles that we've ever won. Anyway, I'm away off to just sit and relax now after that epic afternoon of football. Big shout out to Danny Cassie for the super chat. Never said nothing, just as a super chat. Baz, you brought me into screaming about Celtic. Who was the referee for Jam Tats today? Don't care. We are so bad. Hearts were 1-1 and then won 3-1. How did they do that? Tell me about it. Motherwell missed a few sitters, and Stephen Welsh gave away a penalty. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this afternoon. Thank you to everyone who joined in. There's an interesting one. Baz, there has to be something up with the team's confidence-wise, just to step back when we go ahead and don't go for the jugular. Celtic of previous. The Celtic of previous, mate, had a winning mentality. You had players that had been in and about the club for a long time, that knew how to win, that had the will to win. There's too many players that I spoke earlier about attitude. Kelechi Iheanacho's attitude about missing a goal. Missing a sitter. He should have put it the other side of the post, but it goes the other side of the post. I mean, you're only talking about this much past the post. The attitude of him when he misses, completely raging. That's a player that's wanting to fight for Celtic to the end of the season. You then look at the attitude of Tam when he misses. It's couldn't care less attitude. That's the issue. Anyway, I shall see you all in the morning. I'm sure I'll have another little video up of all the palaver that went on during the watch along. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. We didn't get the result that we wanted with the Hearts game today, but what we did get was a Celtic win, and it keeps us in contention for the league. If we win all our games 1-0 to the end of the season, we are champions. It's as simple as that. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.